Hi IEW 3rd and 4th graders. I wanted to kind of quickly talk about the board behind me because we had a slightly shorter class than sometimes and we had a lot of information we were going to try to edit. So ideally the kiddos were coming in with a rough draft, handwritten or final copy, not final copy, but typed copy, double spaced, so that we could edit today, and most of them had that, so that was fantastic. I wanted to show you what we got done and then kind of what we didn't get done so that you know as parents where we started. The kiddos got to do small groups with Mrs. Long and Mrs. Perry, and so they worked on finding the moral of the Damocles story and then using that moral to inform or help them write a title. And so that was one small group activity they did. They thought about it, they brainstormed. Whether or not they all walked out of here with that finished, I don't know, but that's kind of where they walked out with. And then in my small group, we worked on locating verbs, recognizing our action words, our state of being words like was, were, is, had, do, did, those kinds of words, and our regular action verbs, so that then they were able to squiggle under them. They were really focused on thinking that it meant every verb was banned. They're not banned, but we were using those squiggled words, and many of them still had other verbs they hadn't found yet, but not that they were banned, but to add ly words. So we want to try to get one ly word into either as an introductory phrase or as a word describing how the action verb was happening. So if Damocles lived, Damocles greedily lived in his castle, Damocles royally ruled from his castle. And then also recognizing those banned words is the next step that we didn't get to in class. So if they did have the banned words go, went, say, said, got, get, then they wanted to squiggle those, and then eventually they're going to go back through and use their dress-up sheet, it's the purple one, to help them locate other words that they could use instead of the banned words. I did see a lot of kids use the word lived. It's not technically banned, but I know that there are some other options, other synonyms for living for both Damocles and for the farmer or for the king, so you can kind of talk through using a variety of strong verbs, even if it's not banned. So we can always improve on that. Other things we did not get to that were kind of our edits that we wanted to look for, the kiddos are trying to add alliteration. They're trying to add interesting adjectives and then who, which clauses. And in an ideal world, they are going to have one per paragraph. Some of the paragraphs might be smaller. I think alliteration, it's really fun, but I think it can end up sounding kind of silly. So you guys can decide as a family what sounds fantastic. And then their vocab words for this session were anticipate, content, and dismayed. We have already spent some other time looking at where we could add those on our KWO. So hopefully they've already identified some spots where that might work to add those vocab words in. And of course, if they don't get it all done and it is a success just to have a typed essay, we are excited to see that too. But that was the editing process that we worked on today. And I look forward to reading their typed double-spaced essays, or listening to them read it, sorry, next week. And you're invited to come and hear them present.